Hi, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share an analysis of my classical game that I played on leadchess.org in a tournament. This was called the Tuesday Tussle tournament, ran by Progressive Chess. You can actually join it at progressivechess.org if you'd like. Probably the next round, though, because this is basically one game per week for 5 weeks. So you're basically in it's round robin, and you're in a group of 6 players of similar rating to you, and then you play every week for 5 weeks. Classical time control, 45-minute and 15-second increment. So I'm going to share my game against Patrick Adamek, and I know him actually. He's a fellow progressive chess instructor, and they are my employer as well, by the way. So let's have a look at the game. It went 1e4, e5, and here I played knight f3. So I'm transitioning my repertoire because I usually play f4, the King's Gambit. I've been playing that for the last year and a half approximately, and now I'm transitioning to knight f3. So a more normal move, knight c6 and bishop c4. So trying out my new repertoire. This is the Italian game. And usually black's going to play bishop c5 here or knight f6. These are the two moves that I plan for. And Patrick did go for bishop c5, and I played b4. So this is Evans Gambit. And so I'm looking to sacrifice my b pawn for some initiative. So Patrick took it. That's the best move. And now c3. This is sort of the point. And now bishop a5 is the normal move that I see here and is the main line. But he played bishop e7. So this is called the Anderson variation. Let's have a look at the opening book, actually. Yeah, so you can see here c3 is the main move and bishop a5. And normally it goes like this: d4, e takes d4, and you can play queen b3 or castles. I'm playing both of these moves right now. I'm not sure which one I'll stick with. But castles is definitely the main move. I actually play this move with black also. And then the main line goes knight g5, and this actually gets really messy. Yeah, like d5, e takes d5, knight e5 attacking the bishop. Yeah, it's pretty wild. But okay. In the game, he played this move, bishop e7. There's also bishop d6, bishop c5, and bishop f8. So, like, I like to remember this, that every single bishop move is theory in the Evans Gambit. Every single one. So, kind of cool. And he chose this one. Now, I went for a 2-mile walk after the game, and I realized that one of the downsides to bishop e7 is that it's occupying this square and it stops the queen from coming to f6. Why is that important? Well, you're going to find out. Okay, d4. I figured this must be the main move, and it is. And yeah, so he went d6. Now it's showing that some masters have played this, but I thought queen b3 must be crushing here. Okay, let's turn the opening book off for a minute. Actually, I wish these arrows would go off too. So I think knight e5 has to be played right now, because if you go d6, and I actually had this position in the last Tuesday tussle against Abhinav, who won that game after I played the move castles. And I kind of wish I could remember what happened in that game, but I don't know off the top of my head. Um, but here, I played queen b3. And so one thing I'm learning about the Evans Gambit, well, it's just Evans Gambit, is that you have to play super accurate in this opening. So that's something I really like about it, because I'm someone that really enjoys opening theory and looking at opening lines and opening ideas. So a very sharp opening like Evans Gambit is going to mean that I get a lot of quick wins, basically, if my opponent doesn't play accurately. That's kind of what happened in this game, although I wouldn't say it's a quick win, but I definitely got a better position. So let's see what happened. Queen b3 attacks here, and now you see the dilemma. With this bishop on e7, I mean, really, black would normally play something like queen d7 to defend the pawn, or queen e7, or queen f6. You have to defend this f pawn. I mean, you'd like to play this move, maybe, but the bishop's guarding it. So there honestly is no way to guard this. You can't castle, the knight's in the way. You can't go knight h6, you can't bring your queen out. I mean, how are you defending the square? There's really nothing to do. And I'm kind of surprised that the evaluation is only plus 0.5. So let's see what the computer would do here. Okay. This computer says king f8. King f8 and give up the pawn. Okay, all right. So, I mean, yeah, it's pawns are equal and white's +1. Sometimes the computer gives funky evaluations, and here's one of those cases, because nobody wants to play king f8 here. That's not desirable at all. And so after queen b3, I'm sure Patrick was kind of panicked and didn't know what to do. So he tried knight a5. Hard to blame him. This is a fork, and if I just move my queen, he can just take it. Like he was maybe hoping for something like this. And I think now he's off the hook. But instead, I can actually throw in the check. So I did that. And what's great about looking at lines before games, which I did look at the Evans Gambit before this game, I just had a feeling I would play it, I guess. I looked at two knights defense too. So after this, he went king f8. And now I do have a problem. My queen's under attack and my bishop's under attack. But the move I prepared here was this move, queen a4. Now I'm attacking the knight. So if black wants to take, I take the knight, no problem. So usually black will play c6 here, and Patrick went c5. So the reason is that now the queen is defending the knight, so my bishop really is under attack. Yeah, and here, I really considered this move and this move, and I didn't know which one to do. Turns out this is better, but you can understand my hesitation, because black wants to play knight f6, and he can take the bishop. He can take it. I have to take with a pawn, and I thought, I didn't know how I felt about this. So instead I went bishop b3. I thought if knight takes, I think I'm really fine with this, just having the open a file. For my rook, that's totally fine. And well, I missed this idea. So Patrick threw in this move. So a tempo on my queen. And my queen's really short on squares, by the way. So I was starting to feel kind of nervous. Because, well, I thought maybe bishop b3 is a mistake because I can't retreat this way. It would be nice to just come back home maybe, or even this square. So I had to play here, which isn't desirable. I'm in the line of fire with the bishop. These pawns can move. So He played here. This is defended by the knight. Another tempo. You have to retreat the bishop. And now queen c7. So I think a good move on his part, because this maintains defense of the knight. That's very important. But it also clears the back rank for the rook. It's kind of a developing a move. And it also defends this pawn so that the knight isn't tied down to it. So the knight maybe will retreat. And if I was black, I think I would be very interested in something like this. Because, maybe not yet, actually. I was thinking this square, but white has to take care first. Okay. So I develop my bishop, knight f6, and now queen c1. Computer doesn't love this, but okay, maybe you can tell me, pause your video, why did I not play castles? Okay, and hopefully you saw that after castles, you have to be ready to deal with this move. Okay, this is a discovery. And let's see what the computer says about it, because, okay, it says queen c1 now. But I mean, I'm not sure why I want to allow this kind of stuff. It's just, it's allowing counterplay for no real reason. So I actually think queen c1 is more practical. So I played there. And he went h6. Oh, and I want to turn the engine off. Sorry about all the arrows. I actually, I don't like how the computer is giving me all the variations, but I ran an analysis on it earlier, so that's why. But okay. Oh, now I made a mistake. So I thought knight h4 was very strong, but I must have messed up my calculation, because I was thinking this is a huge threat and it's really hard to parry. And I saw king f8 at first. Then I looked at other moves, and then I forgot about it and played this. So when he went king f8, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have played this move, because the thing is, like, there's going to be tricks with knight takes e4, discovery on my knight. So I don't know. I think it's premature to play knight h4. If I could take this back, I would have played castles maybe. Computer wants this move. Yeah, castles is definitely a move. h3 I did not consider. So I'm not sure what is up with that move. So, okay, this move I consider a mistake. There. And now I took here. And, okay, I think taking maybe was not... Yeah, I don't know about taking. So my idea with taking is that it opens up my bishop a bit. But here's the thing. When I take and he takes back, which I think he should, it also opens up his bishop. So it improves his bishop, improves my bishop. But then it also gives up the c5 square. So then suddenly this becomes a plan. And once that happens, this could also happen. So in hindsight, I actually think that this is also premature. Probably I should... Castle is fine. And I see the computer's giving queen d1. This is an interesting move. It's kind of like, it sets a little trap, because now let's say black wants to take. I think, you know, we can just take the knight, and after they take and they say, haha, discovery, we say, nope, not really. Queen h5 check, and we pick up the bishop. So that's definitely a reason for queen d1. Also, positionally, queen d1's better. Look how active the queen is here. So it stops the threat and improves the queen. Just a much better move. And this is the move that Michael Jolson, my coach and national master, um, said he thought during the game. So this must be a common idea. It always looks like counterintuitive to me because it's like, I brought my queen out to b3, up here, back here, and now I'm going to go back home. So like it's the queen tour. But it's objectively the best move. So even if the best move means putting a piece back on the starting square, you should play it. Okay, so I don't think he played that move in the game. Let's see what happened. Okay, he took back. I jumped my knight in. I mean, the knight's good on f5. It's hard to argue with that. And I thought maybe he would take, and he did. And I was totally okay with this move because now my pawn has moved to f5. Yes, I have double pawns now, but this is like one of those situations where I think the double pawns are strong. My bishop has more scope. I have this square for the bishop. He's not going to be taking this pawn, and yeah, I just think this improved my position. So, and the computer agrees. Now he played b6. And so I think he's going for this plan, which looks pretty strong to me. And here I played castles. He brought his rook out. And I played knight bd2. And I'm just trying to get my pieces out. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think this is very... the computer wants to play rook out. Yeah, I guess that's okay, but like, this is always an idea. So I think black is going to be really hesitant to move their rook away. But okay. Okay, so here comes the knight. And it's my turn, and all right, pride moment. I was really excited that I found this move. Knight takes pawn. So what's going on, Stacia? You blundered your knight? Well, not exactly. I saw that if he takes my knight, I have bishop b3, and that would win the game. So that means I can take the pawn for free and be very happy. And yeah, I realized that the way you find tactics like this is very simple. You know how grandmasters always say, like, look at all your checks and captures? Well, this is a capture, so I should look at it. And that's what I did. And I thought, I was just thinking about how it would be so nice to take this pawn. Because if I take it, the knight's not coming into this square anymore. The outpost is gone. And my bishop can come to this diagonal. So I was thinking about, like, positionally, I really want to take this. And then I saw that I just could. So I took it. So he played here. He didn't fall for the trick, which is good. But like I mentioned, winning that c-pawn is very, very good for white. It's a very important pawn. So the bishop comes to b3, and suddenly my position is pretty harmonious, I think. Yeah, and this move. What a gutsy move. I mean, I get why he wants to move his king, right? Because my bishop is lined up with the king. And once I move my knight, not sure where I'd move him yet, but sorry, yawn. It's late over here. I played this game tonight. Once I move this knight will be pinned, and it's not that hard to attack somewhere either. So, moves like this. I don't know. It's possible that I'll attack him very quickly. So king f6, but this must be wrong, and I see the computer agrees. Wants knight c5. Knight c5. Oh. Yeah. That makes sense. Now I could take, not sure what the computer wanted here. Wanted to take this way. Yeah, this looks risky though, does it not? Looks risky. I mean, I'd be very tempted to play here. I guess now that the knight is pinned, I guess this is possible. Note that I'm not blundering my queen. This is pinned still. But then maybe they just get out of the pin. Yeah, I was just thinking that. So black gets out of the pin, and then... Yes, it's still very good for white, apparently. Yeah, and I would not take this knight. So I might find this move, I don't know. It does pin the pawn, which is probably useful. So, okay, let's turn the engine back off. By the way, I hate this multiple lines, so not sure why that was on. Okay. Cool. Let's continue. So king f6. Don't try this at home, kids. Okay, I have a queen still. I have bishops. I have rooks. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what he was hoping for here, but it's just not a move you want to play. The king doesn't belong on the 6th rank. So, okay. So, yeah, at this point, I'm trying to follow the principle that has won me many games, which is if you're better developed or you have a safer king, open the position. So, f4. And I'm thinking, you know, I just want to open things up. I'm threatening check, and it opens my rook up. So, yeah, I want to turn these arrows off. I'm getting annoyed. There we go. This might be more enjoyable now. Okay, so he took. And I was surprised to see this move, I'll be honest. Because after bishop check, it looks kind of scary, does it not? The knight can come to e5. And if he goes here, the knight's pinned, and I have ideas like queen here, or maybe even take the pawn at some point. I don't know. But I went ahead and checked. It just intuitively, I knew this was the right move. I actually thought a long time about taking a pawn too. I think I can do that. Yeah, this is attack 3 times, so I could have played it like this, you know? But I just figured that even if I take with the rook, like taking with the queen trades everything. But this breaks another principle, which is if your king is safe and your opponent's isn't, then keep your pieces on the board so you can attack the king. Like, I'm not attacking the king anymore. This is more of an endgame. And by the way, I have a weak pawn. So yeah, computer actually says black's better. So, yeah, taking the pawn is just, it must be wrong. So I played this move, bishop d4 check. King goes here. And yeah, knight e5 check is just screaming to be played. But look, like, where else does he go? If he went here, I was actually thinking about h4. Yeah. I mean, how many king hunt puzzles have you seen that go like this? Like, if he takes this, I mean, I feel like we're playing a game of which one of these pieces doesn't belong. Like, why is the king on h4? Like, it just looks like it's so random. And yeah, he's going to get checkmated. There's just no doubt about it. So, so therefore going here is just wrong. This is guarded by the pawn. This is guarded by the pawn. This is impossible. So he's basically forced to play this. And this allows knight e5 check. And he went here. So, you know, this is one of those games where white is better, but black can maybe survive. It says +9. Okay, that's even more than what I thought, but um, I saw here I could win material though. So I am really curious to see knight g6 because I considered this move during the game, and I went with this instead because this looks so forcing. There's nothing that can block. If he blocks this way, I just take it. And if he has to go back here, now I come in with a fork. Computer wants bishop b3. So I must be missing something. So let's look for a second. What's this about? I mean, I get that it's a fork. I thought he would go here. And then do I have some awesome move? Ooh, rook e1. So we're pinning the bishop. Ooh, also, this happened now. So everything's pinned. Wow. Crazy. So I'm actually threatening to take this. Because if I do, if he takes with the knight will be pinned by the rook, and then I take here, free rook. I'll show what I mean. Let's pass for black real quick. We'll just pass. I think that this is possible. Because if here we take, right? Yeah, that wins. That wins a lot of material. So, if queen takes, that's pretty self-explanatory. So this is a big threat. And computer actually says bishop take the knight, it says. So I would assume rook takes. So what's the thing here? Oh, same thing. We take the bishop. And now, this is extra brutal. It's a fork. The queen cannot take because you lose the queen. And now we're threatening discoveries. So we're threatening to take everything with check. Yeah, that's just insane. So this is the best move, which is kind of funny. Now I could check. Can't I just win the queen now? Yeah. So that's a discovery. And we attack the queen. Yeah, it's over. So I didn't see everything, but I did find a win. So when you find a win, it's hard to be too hard on yourself. You know, like this one's material. So he goes here, and I simply bank the material here. Takes. Notice it's nice to take the rook in the corner because I'm undeveloping his rook in a way. And then I'm like, hey, now the pin's back. My bishop did its job. It checked the king. Now he's back. So he played here, and yeah, I'm not sure about queen e1, but queen e1 does have a nice little threat. I was thinking check, and then I win the knight because bishop takes, and it's attacked twice. So he has to defend that. So he went here. But now I have this move. Queen e5 attacks here. I'm going to take that with check. So I think he should go bishop here. He does do this. But even here I saw a funny move. Queen takes pawn. So using the pin, he cannot take because the pin. So now he unpins, so I got to move my queen. Oh, but I just took. Yeah, okay, and it's fine. And I finally thought that I have enough material now that I can go the endgame. Also, this is kind of a threat because I thought if takes, I could take this now. And when he takes here, it undefends this pawn. So I get that pawn and a nice little check to throw in. So this looks pretty rough now, right? Like I can start checking. Yeah. All right, so let's go back. Yeah, so for that reason, he had to take here first. And then I take, he takes here. And now I played rook f to d1. Now, the computer wants to play this move. But I don't know if you see it, but black could actually take my pawn then. That undefends the pawn. Well, guess what? This is just bad because of f6. f6 is going to crush now. I'm threatening check. It's actually a double check. Black would have to take, and then I'm going to checkmate that king very swiftly. So, so this is a poison pawn. It lures the queen away from the action. So for that reason, this is actually a mistake. I shouldn't have played this. The rook is good on the f-file, clearly, right? So I was just trying to defend everything and stay solid. So the knight comes up. I played f6 here, queen g5. All right, so I take with check first. He takes, and again, like it's tempting to take the queen, but watch, like my advantage is +6. Now it's down to okay, +5, still pretty good. But I think, you know, chess principles say if you're attacking and their king's in danger, don't trade. So I just went away with a nice little check. He went here, and now I'm just trying to checkmate him. Okay, tempo move, but I checked. I think I have to take the rook here. Computer argues. Wow, computer says queen f3. I'd be scared to play that. Like I'd be scared am I blundering something? Oh, if takes, I take the queen with check. And if they take here, I take the rook with check. So that's that's a tricky move to play in time pressure though. All right, so I didn't play that. I played take the rook, take. And I'll just show you the conversion. It gets a little bit dicey. I thought rook f1 was cool because I'm threatening this check. Check here. Yeah, and I really like computer says just push now. That's funny. But I pinned the knight. I thought that could come in handy. Okay, so now if I move my queen away, he'll... oh, not true. Actually, he's threatening check and take the pawn. Also, if I move my king this way, it undefends the rook. I was wondering about knight checks, but I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, and I found this move h4. So what do you do to a pinned piece? I teach all my students this. You attack it. So I had to be okay with this check, but I calculated. Looks fine. And after he takes here, I can simply take the knight. And now I have queen h3. This is going to force a trade. Now it's totally fine. I'm up a rook. So yeah, I just moved my king up and my opponent resigned. So there you go. An excellent way to start the tournament. So I'll have 4 more games. My opponent was rated 1700, by the way. And this was the game to put me over 1900 on Lead Chess. So Lead Chess classical rating is now 1906, and I've had a lot of success improving lately, so I'll show you. Yeah, my actually, is this on the screen? Yeah, it is, right? Okay. My bullet's gone up. My blitz went up some. I believe I can get that to 1900 if I try, which I may do that. Rapids 1954, and now Classical 1906. These are all like my highest ratings I've ever had on Lichess, and in anything for that matter. So I feel like maybe something is coming together, but we'll find out. So if you watched this video, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with more chess. So thank you, and bye.